You're not afraid of relapsing. You're afraid of the things that you have to face without using porn as a method of escape. If you don't know me, my name is Krishna. I'm someone who quit his porn addiction after many, many years of struggling with it. And I'm someone who's just teaching the lessons that I personally learned along the way. And I make these videos so that you can quit too, and you don't have to suffer as much as I did. I talk about this a lot, but porn was rarely the problem for me. All the addictions that I had, really, like video games, porn, they weren't the real culprits. It was what I was using the addiction to run away from. And when I was a little kid, and even again into my when I was 13, 14, 15, I was experiencing abuse by my father, right? And the specific type of abuse that's associated with what I went through is called narcissistic abuse. And narcissistic abuse is it's kind of hard to heal from because it's not just physical. There's obviously a physical side to the abuse, right? There's physical violence and physical threats. There's also the psychological side, right? And that's what a lot of narcissistic abuse is about, which is that for the person who's being abused, it makes you question. It made me question my own sanity for a little bit, right? It made me question what was actually real and what actually happened. I remember, actually, there was just one night, I was watching a movie with my mom. We were sitting on the couch. This was around, I don't remember what time it was. It probably was around evening time, maybe like 5, 6 p.m. Right, because that's the time that usually my dad comes home from his work. And so we're watching this movie, and I hear footsteps out the door, right, or out the little path that you walk on to get to our front door. I hear footsteps. I'm like, okay, he's home. Dad opens the door, walks in. He goes, he gives me a hug, gives my mom a hug. He's like, hey, how you doing, man? It's like, talks to my brother, talks to my mom a little bit. He's talking to her, and then I think I probably said something a little bit disrespectful to him. This was when I was like maybe 9, 8 years old, right? I was very, very young when this happened. And so again, this guy walks in, or my dad walks in, and he says hi to me. He says, hey, how you doing? It's like, day went okay, etc., right? So it's like pretty normal stuff. I say something disrespectful to him. Instantly, his personality flips, and it does a complete 180. He goes, walks over, he picks me up by my shirt, and he throws me against the wall, right? And he starts punching me, he starts wailing on me. He's like, you're stupid, why did you say that, etc. Few days later, my mother calls the child protection, the child care services that are local to our area. And they come into our house, and they start asking questions. They start asking questions to my mom, they start asking questions to my brother, they start asking questions to my father. My mother told me after the event what happened, and she told me that our dad literally just straight up lied about the situation, right? My dad straight up just lied about the thing to protect his own image. And so again, it's like it's like I'll bring this back. When you're in that environment where like your caregiver, he almost looks like he has split personality disorder, right? Like because like during that incident, he went from, hey, how you doing? He went from like a normal father to someone completely different, a completely violent, completely aggressive person. And so when you're in that type of environment, when you're experiencing physical abuse, psychological abuse, and something like that, and it's just like, you need to cling on to something. You do need to cling on to something. And I almost don't want to even blame my younger self for what he clung on to, because he needed that in some senses, right? He needed to cling on to those addictions because they were just a way to escape his reality. And so Quitting porn, it means confronting the emotions that you know you need to face, that you know you need to feel but aren't, right? It confronts your loneliness, your trauma, your emptiness, and that terrifies a lot of people, right? Most people, they don't want to look at their flaws, at what they're avoiding. But here's the thing. I actually heard this quote from Carl Jung. It's pretty good. I think you'll like it. He says, "If you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate." Ooh, so good, so good. If you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. Right? If you don't face the things that you're avoiding, if you don't face the negative emotions, if you don't face your poor mental health, your trauma, it will rule your life in subtle ways. And you will just say, oh, this is just how things are, this is just how life is. Right? Even still now, it's like even years later after the years of abuse, you know, I'm still dealing with this stuff. I'm still dealing with the aftermath from the trauma and the things like that. It does rule your life in subtle ways, and you're not above that. You know what I mean? It's like you're not above the basic fundamentals of good mental health and healing, right? It's really what we all deserve, right? Porn gives safety, right? It gave me a feeling of safety during that period of time. And you know, again, you can relate to this period of time. You might, or again, even if you don't relate to it, you relate to the negative emotions. Porn gives you safety from that. It gives you an escape from that. Growth doesn't. Growth is very uncomfortable. There's a reason why it's called growing pains. There's a reason why you get growing pains. It's very hard. It's very uncomfortable to do that type of stuff. But what life do you want to keep living? Do you want to keep living the life where you're addicted to porn, where you relapse every single time, where you say to yourself, yeah, I'm gonna quit this time, I promise, and then you break that promise to yourself? Do you really want to feel that again? You probably don't. And so letting go means that you have to meet the parts of you that you've been avoiding, right? You have to meet those parts of you, those damaged, those unhealed parts of you, unhealed parts of you. You have to face them without any distractions, right? And again, that's scary. That can be scary to some people. That can be very uncomfortable. But the thing is that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling fear and doing the thing anyway. Courage is not feeling fear, it's acting in spite of fear. And so you can feel like you don't want to do it. You can feel afraid. You can feel whatever. You can still go and do the thing, right? Because that's how real growth works. That's how real growth worked for me, right? It was never until I faced the things that I was avoiding. It was never until I faced things like my trauma and my poor mental health. And it's like, I understand it's really hard to face that type of stuff. It is really hard. But if it's worth doing, it's going to be hard, right? 9 times out of 10, if the thing is worth doing, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very hard. Healing takes a long time. Improving your mental health, improving your life, it takes a while. And it's very hard, and it might feel very lonely. But the thing is that the version of you that you want to be, that healed version of you, the version of you who has great mental health, the version of you who doesn't struggle with this problem, who doesn't struggle with porn addiction, right? Who doesn't watch it, right? It's just not part of who he is. He is on the other side of that. And so for your actionable step, I just want you to ask yourself, who are you when you're not watching that? Who are you without porn, right? Who is that guy? Who is that maybe that damaged little boy? Who is that guy who feels that life went from color to grayscale, right? That's how it was for me. Because that question can begin the journey of improvement for you. If you find that these free videos are helpful for you, and you want to go more in depth into the science and the actual step-by-step system that I used to quit, then you can click the link in the description down below. I hope this video helped you, man. Take care.